So I've just clocked in with my 66th hour in Sojourn, as you can see, just on Season 9. Win percentage hovering around 50%, 2 extra games won up, 353 games played. Stats are all here, charge shot accuracy coming in at 56%, not bad, not great. A couple more charge shot critical, only at 13, so let's jump straight into the game. That took me to 66 hours on this fine Canadian. As you can see, obviously I'm rocking the jade gun. I haven't played it so much. Looks good on this character. On my my runner skin, it blends quite nicely. I like the sort of 80s retrowave-esque look I'm going for. The style I've got going here. I guess jade isn't technically in the sort of retrowave colour scheme, but close enough. The colours sort of work. The gun's got some purple on it. Works with me. So straight into Shambali, I think it was. Not I think. I really enjoyed this game actually. A lot of bits that I've been working on. When I started this season, I pretty much had no time in Sojourn at all, so it really was like a learning process. And my aim was quite bad actually, to be really candid. I had a real journey with my aim, which I'm sort of toying with doing some videos on that, because I had a lot of discoveries, made a lot of mistakes, and I discovered a lot of myths that people are probably still subscribing to. So great fun. Lay that out. And I have to say, if you haven't played Sojourn before, put some time on her. She's one of the funnest characters in the cast, no question. Her ability to get picks, her slides, great fun. Even the disruptor shot is real satisfying. I mean, there is nothing quite like getting that pick. Those sort of mid-range things where people are sneaking back into cover, you know, unless you're perfect with the soldier rockets. I just think she's got that unique ability to transform damage into kills. But she doesn't suck at damage either, so she does a great job of putting pressure on. I'm trying to dip back and out, here, in and out, sorry. Thinking about that ball. Ball is always a good... Well, balls can always be a nightmare, depending on how good they are and how well the team plays around them. Something people don't do very well at the sort of metal ranks I'm playing at now. I've found as well this season, I found it very, very hard to climb. At the start of season 8, I think it was. I was plat 2, and I've just gone down to gold. But I genuinely feel like my play has dramatically improved in that time. So we'll see where it's going to lead. I think another 66 hours on her, and I might be in maybe a div up, a single div. In terms of things that I'd sort of like advise you trying out with Sojourn, lining up your shots, those first few, I've said it before, I'll say it again, the first bullets out of the clip, where they go in that direct line as a projectile, they do absurd damage. If the other side's not paying attention, you can very easily one-tap people in the back line. The ultimate as well, great fun to use, game-changing when used well, but obviously can be easy to get zero value at all. Here I go, straight away, shooting into a part of cover you can't see. Nearly get her on that one. I would say you want to almost slow it down. Like, I think I've rushed a few shots there, for example. I think a lot of times when I play Sojourn, I'm rushing the shots, patient with the amount of charge you've got. You'd be surprised at how it works. You don't need to always be shooting your charges, you don't even need to be shooting your right click if you don't want to. It's really just a tool to work to your advantage. You can, in an ideal world, you'll be letting it charge to 100 while also shooting your primary fire, which I've got set to right click, just to make things a little bit easier. You'll be charging in the primary fire, building up a bit of damage, and then using the full charge, the ult. Or you can just start spraying. If you get them low, you know, it just depends on what the situation calls for. I really have found that in my experience, it's best to be a little bit flexible with your approach with her ult. That's a frustrating miss there, I have to say. Taking the Sombra out, I felt was my sort of duty in this one. I had the unique ability to end it very quickly for her, as such, or at least force her out. I'm trying to think of where I put Shambali on my favourite map. It's pretty high up. I think this map's pretty awesome. I've noticed that Ram has not been getting much playtime this season, which at first I thought was fair enough. I didn't think he was that strong, but I'm starting to revise my opinion, particularly with the Malga changes. I think he's starting to change into one of the more powerful. Ah, interesting. I didn't know Sombra deleted the window when she ulted. I mean, the team's dead here, so got to make a decision about where I want to go. We have somewhat been eaten alive here, actually. I remember thinking at the time this game's going to be a loss because we're just getting pushed right out. Giving away space for free. I mean, yeah, it didn't feel like we should. I mean, the second point we obviously shouldn't have lost straight away. I mean, for second point, first point, we should have contested it at least the second time, but I can't remember why the tank was so slow to come out and no one made that touch instead. So one of those sort of like small sort of errors that will happen in ranked with the lack of proper coordination. I mean, that's obviously great fun. When people think they can end your ult, turn, blast them twice, game. I mean, I'm trying to reload every 15 minutes, but it doesn't matter. Like, you know, I don't have to reload. I can keep reloading, but if I see a shot, I will take it. It is best just to not try and be too structured in how you pry the ult, and just use what you think is going to be called for, whether it's a charge shot, whether it's a load of extra primary fire, let the charge shot charge up. You don't have to be as efficient as possible. There's so much damage potential within that ult. If you just take the fight you want, then that's good. One thing I would always say though is if you fire off your ult without your slide cooldown up, you might regret that. I've found that I would regret that. Because they would just, unless they're in a really bad position, they can just peel back into cover, look for a good option, and then return. I get so lucky to avoid that virus. That virus lands me, I'm absolutely dead. In the end, get blasted by everyone laning. And again, you know, we're not contesting. We've got the Ram up. We seem to have a Reaper up now. I almost feel like the timing of those fights for us were way worse than necessarily us always losing the fights. But yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, look at that. She looks great. She just looks phenomenal. Little blue eyes, 80s inspired workout outfit. Yeah, blast that. The other benefit of her is she works in a lot of compositions. She's absolutely fine in whatever you'd call this composition, a sort of, I don't know, yeah, whatever this composition is, she's going to be absolutely fine. But also if the team switched up, maybe played Winston, Genji, a bit of dive, that would work too. You can keep up with them in that sense. And that is her big edge from someone like Soldier. From someone like Ashe. They don't really have that maneuverability to the same degree. Something I find interesting about Soldier is obviously he can, in a straight line, he very much can keep pace, but when you are in a spot where you realise you're out of position and you would ordinarily slide a Sojourn, your option as Soldier is literally to turn around and peg it while facing the other direction. So, not ideal. Not ideal at all, whereas you have all, is it 8 directions I think you can slide in? I don't know if there's more than that. I think it must be just the 8 directions, right? Down, right, yeah, it must be. But that obviously gives you enough options. It doesn't take long to find your way with the slide and realise when you should be sliding in, when you should be sliding out. Sliding in is very nice sim pick on me there. Very situational. I wouldn't advise sliding in until you're a little bit more confident in making those sort of plays. Occasionally you'll go for a slide in charge shot, miss it, and then be in a really tough position, because obviously that's your escape gone, you've gone deep, you've committed to it. For a little while, definitely just relax. Let the game come your way, and you'll benefit hugely. Having said that, something I found a lot, I love it when you catch the sounds and the rotation out, something I found a lot when I was playing, or have been playing, is often I'll be the last person to die. As you saw, I had very low kills in the first round, whereas the rest of the team is obviously dead. So you often will be alive when the rest of the team just dies because you're the only person who has the ability to maneuver out. So sometimes it is best just to stay in the fight and try and get a few more picks if you can, rather than just always being alive. But hard to say, so generally just surviving, always a good idea. My boy goes in way too deep. Yeah, little fail jump there. Oh, that's a, yeah. There's little things with the jump as well, like you got to jump, slide, jump for the maximum height. That takes a little getting used to. Realising that you want a bit of space to work with, the sort of spacing on that, again, something that takes a little bit of getting used to. Something I would also be wary of as well, I've been finding that Sojourn does not do well against Doom. If you chuck out the Disruptor shot and he goes into block in front of it, you've just given him a free, fully charged punch, basically. Equally, Xayah can do that as well. I don't think Xayah is as much of a threat. In fact, if you look at the stats at the moment this season, she's in a pretty poor place overall from metals to above. Well, picked again. Hits a good Orisa ult, a couple of good ults. We've got 5 ults to work with, so you know we've done good. Done good. We were okay there.
What am I missing? Payload stalled. Get on it.
A good disruptor shot as well can be absolutely game changing. Does a lot more damage than people would think. If you put it behind people, you know how to aim it, which just takes a little getting used to. You will force people into positions they don't want to be, and of course you've got that delightful railgun to blast with. The other thing is her primary fire is definitely underrated in terms of the damage it does. You will blast the crap out of people that are... So, followed the translocator the wrong location there. You will absolutely annihilate people with the primary fire and the primary fire alone. It does a phenomenal bit of damage. You just need to actually be aware of how it works, the spread on it once you've started firing, how to lead targets. If they are AD strafing, you may struggle, but if you get the timing right, they will melt. So we've done great here. We've done a really good job of sort of closing the distance, making it a little bit, well, giving us a good chance considering what a measly defense we seem to put up in the first instance. I am not sure why they're persisting with Sombra at this stage, but you know, I'm not going to fight it. Happy to take that. Try and get the Zen out as usual. A threat. And you just can't do that with Soldier. I'd have to run up the right, which is an equivalent. Ash maybe shotgun the floor and land a shot, but she really has the ability to force an issue. That mid-range absolute queen. I should really be dead here, to be fair. Pushing that back. No more of him. No more of you. I mean, tell me this isn't the most fun ult to use in the game. Maybe Genji. That Zen healing's so strong. He's gone. I do not know how we're going to lose this fight, but here we are. Oh, no. Couple of clutch ults. And we're back. I did not remember this fight at all. Yeah, the stats speak for themselves there. This is 66 hours in. Yeah, I genuinely feel that. I think if she's not top tier, she's right up there. She's going to be A tier. She's going to be close as. I think if you're looking for a character to commit a huge amount of playtime to in the DPS category, I think there's few others that are going to be as ubiquitous Maybe Echo would be a good similar option, but wouldn't know. Haven't done 66 hours on Echo. Only done it on Sojourn. I am thinking about who to do next. Tracer is an option. But I kind of feel like I've got at least 2 dive characters. Sombra just feels really intuitive to me at the moment, and I feel like I've got a good win ratio with her. So, and of course, Sojourn can also do that. So I am wondering about who else to play in the DPS category. I guess I put some time on some hit scans. So, you know, there's a few other hit scans. I've been enjoying Soldier. I put 9 hours on Cass this season as well. He's been enjoyable, but. Yeah, someone like Tracer I think might be the next option, or potentially I have been looking at Echo. She does seem consistently fantastic at higher ranks, and I think her win ratio is at 53% towards the top end of the leaderboards. Certainly someone you can take all the way through the ranks. Are there any situations in which Echo doesn't work? I'm not sure.
Think I'd ever let you down?
It's just no fun for it to be a Zarya in that situation, is it really? Now this is obviously, so they've got the, we thought, so they actually have less time. I thought they'd have more time considering how badly our defense went on second and third, but it's a very strong attack round we have had. It's a real strong attack round we've had. Okay. That dive, I definitely wanted to go backwards, not forwards. I can see that, hear the widows to the left. Frustrated I didn't pick this, I really am. She's gotten away with one. But that's fine, I'll pull back. Our Reese has gone down in the confusion. With the good pressure here, we could probably get out of it, but I think I've played myself into a corner here. I have the Moira behind me somewhere. But she teleported. Oh, no, she stays with me. No, she stays with me. Yeah, we just got a bit caught out there. I think a bit stuck between 2 mines. If I'd picked off the Widow and then come back, I think we'd have been okay. I went too deep for it in the end. Frustrating not to finish that kill, but here we are again. We've got a little bit of a chance to. Obviously, we don't want to get this checkpoint. That Mei wall kills me, absolutely kills me. Get sniped. It's a good snipe to be fair, but I'm panicking here. Absolutely panicking. Think the team's done it. They're not going to do it without me. Just goes to show. They've done a great job. The team's done a fantastic job. Even if you're playing well, the team can still play better. Love to see it. And that's it. We've just got a simple job of getting up there. I'm in 2 minute 20. They could easily stop us here. Easily stop us.
3-3. Switching sides.
Yeah, the stats tell an interesting story as well. I think our attack's been doing a good job since the first, since defense. The other DPS done a great job, and I'm very happy to see those sort of stats coming out for myself. Certainly one of my better games, but you'd expect that 66 hours in just one season too. The season 9 changes. Again, I can't rave about it enough. I feel like Overwatch 2 is just going from strength to strength. I know there's always going to be a bit of bad press, and people are moaning about the PvE being missing. And I hear you. The promises were made, but ultimately, this game's best as PvP. It's always been a PvP game. It's always been best as this, and if they focus their efforts fully on that, I think it'll be better as a result. I think I'd rather have 100 people working on the PvP mode than 50 people working on PvP and 50 people working on PvE. I just think that's ultimately where it needs to be at the moment. Diluting the brand. Okay, fine, yeah. They built a wonderful universe. They could have done so much more with it. It's a real shame the way it's gone, but I don't think anyone's envisaged the way the last 8 years have gone. It's been a mental timeline, and changes needed to be made. And I'm happy to see that they, what I have got is a game that's being well supported. Oh god, this is such a bum rush of a fight. You know what? I actually respect the attempt here. I really do. They almost catch us. The Zarya with the Bastion, it should work. It's quite smart. It's quite smart. I mean, I'm slightly being sarcastic when I say this, but yeah, type strats in. I mean, it's a little bit shitty, but genuinely, I think that's the right thing to do in their position. I think they tried something, it hasn't worked, so what? Anyway, yeah, I think if you haven't tried Overwatch 2 yet, just hold them out. firstly, how did you find this video? Secondly, give it a go. Really would recommend the one tank change. They do need to find a way to make the tank role slightly more enjoyable. I've seen what it's like. My best Overwatch friend for Shawsies plays tank, and I see him get blamed for anything and anything under the sun. It is too easy. Anyway, that was a pretty simple attack in the end. Going with a bit of shitty talk. But yeah, 66 hours of Sojourn. Enjoyed it hugely. We'll put another 66 hours on, I'm sure, whether this season or next. I think she's going to remain my most played. She is currently sitting at my most played, so there we have it. GG.